Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I used to just go with whatever meat looked good or was on sale at the grocery store. But now that I've experienced the exceptional quality, flavor, and convenience that you can get from Omaha Steaks, I'm never going back. They can build a custom food plan based on your schedule, which means less food waste and stocking up on high-quality proteins to always have on hand. With Omaha Steaks in your freezer, you're always just minutes away from a quality dinner. Whether it's Taco Tuesday or a weekend feast. Taste the Omaha Steaks difference and never settle for grocery proteins again. Get flavorful, high-quality proteins delivered by visiting omahasteaks.com. Plus $35 off when you use promo code YUM at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code YUM at checkout for $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
Drink? Now, shall we begin? Hello, everyone. Hello, Roger. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
Hello.
And so today we are doing Titanic for our film club, which was a choice that we made, I think, last month. It was the only candidate, actually. And following on from Master and Commander, and if you haven't listened to the Master and Commander episode, I recommend you go back and listen to that. It has the seal of approval from one of the cast of the film. So I'm very pleased about that. And so today is Titanic, which at the time I think was the most expensive film ever made. It's the James Cameron film. And I think pretty much everyone on the planet watched it, apart from Roger, who had not seen it.
True. Yeah.
So that's going to make it interesting, I think, because you could.
Well, it's pre-World War II.
That's right. It is 1912. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. Shall I just quickly run through some of the basics, and then I'm very intrigued as to what Roger thinks of this. So,
because we are coming at this very cold. I haven't tipped you off as to anything that I thought about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, all right. Budget. 200 million, most expensive film at the time ever made. It made, according to Wikipedia, it made 2.26 billion, which I think it's fair to say it did well. And it launched the career into the stratosphere for Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. There is a all-star cast, really. I mean, actually, I say all-star, then they weren't really all-star, actually. I would say I'm actually wrong about that. There are a number of very good British actors, and you got Billy Zane. Billy Zane is a very cool guy. So he is he's fantastic. But the plot, very briefly, which is slightly hold on one sec.
I mean, it's brief.
Ship hits iceberg. Sinks.
Romeo and Juliet.
Is anyone unfamiliar with Titanic?
Romeo and Juliet on Titanic. Titanic sinks.
Yeah, it's basically that.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert: the Titanic sinks. So there's a whole load of Rogers right now turning off in disgust, but there is a rather preposterous love story. To start with,
yeah,
I guess you can call that the plot, and it is absurd. But Roger, tell me, what did you think?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, it was 3.25 hours. 3.25 hours.
Was it? Is it that long?
It is
Bloody
that
hell.
Zips by.
Does it though? Uh, 3.25 hours that I will never get back. I
Oh dear.
kind of hated it. I really did.
You hated it.
I hated it. It
That's
was
impressive.
it was a complete cheese fest.
Did you watch it on your own, Roger?
Well, yes. Who should I
Who am I?
watch it
Who am
with?
I going to watch it?
Who
Oh, with
should
your
I have
family?
watched it with?
Ah.
With your
No,
family?
no. I watched it on my own. And it was. I just thought it was very kind of schlocky and, I mean, unbelievably cheesy. The romance at the center of it was, I mean, slightly ridiculous. I thought Kate Winslet was ridiculous. Her character was ridiculous. The only person actually that came out of it to me with any kudos at all was Leonardo DiCaprio, who I thought was very believable and was very good. The love story that they've shoehorned into it, I thought was preposterous. I thought the modern thing, with the trying to dive the site and all that, and the old lady who is the Kate Winslet character. I thought that was ridiculous. I mean, it might have been my mood. Maybe I was in a bit of I don't know, but I just thought that's 3 hours I'm never getting back. And,
End of podcast.
End of podcast, basically. Yeah.
Well,
There's
you
no
know,
need to
it was-
discuss.
I think looking at it, looking at a bit, did some homework, as in my sort of rage and frustration. I did a bit of homework. It does look as though the portrayal of the sinking is actually pretty accurate as far as we can understand. How it went down, both in the figurative and the literal sense. So that does look to be a sort of a realistic portrayal of events, which is impressive. So even down to various characters that sort of pop up, and if you look online, you can say, "Oh, that's supposed to be so and so," and they pop up at this moment, and they pop up in that moment, and they said this, and yeah, okay, so that is, in terms of veracity, impressive. A lot of the effects and stuff I thought were impressive. That's the sinking at the end was I thought very impressive. How, the way the back reared up and it was 90 degrees to the water and they're all falling into that scene. I thought was really, really well done. So it had some positives, but it was just way over long. It was way too cheesy. I thought even as a date movie, it struck me afterwards. It's the sort of thing you'd go back in the day. Was it 97? It came out, wasn't it?
yeah.
Back in the day, you'd go and have on a date to watch Titanic. I thought you'd be menopausal by the time you came out, so it'd be kind of pointless, So, yeah, didn't do it for me, I'm afraid.
Because I watched it again recently, so I think that'll only have made it the third time I've seen it. Maybe I've seen it more. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I saw it in the cinema, and I think it was more the fact that for its time, it was a very advanced film in portraying the Titanic really well, and
Yeah. I mean, that side of it I thought worked. That worked really well.
yeah, and
Well,
but I
they
think
built-
that
they
had a
built
lot
the
of the
thing.
kind of wonderment, which maybe it doesn't have so much. No.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
they-
genuine wonderment. I think you watched
Yeah.
it thinking, "Wow, that's pretty amazing how he's done that, James Cameron."
Yeah.
Well, they built the thing to scale. That they built the thing full size and sank it.
Yeah.
Partially sank when the bow goes down. So it was a full scale replica. And then and what Roger said about the stern when it goes up, they actually recreated that on a gimbal, so it actually did go up to 90 degrees. So the people falling were actually stunt people genuinely falling.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Except for the really deep ones that fall a long way. They're either
Hit the propeller on the way down. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
That's
a couple
either
of
a
those. Yeah.
CG one, or when if you notice, there's a woman sliding down really rapidly.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bit like Adam
that's-
Mary Poppins. That.
Yeah. That's
Ooh, splinters.
actually on deck, but they've put ropes on her and she's put on a skateboard. So she's
really?
actually not like
You'd hope.
this. She's
Yeah.
But that was exactly like the scene where all the all the other nannies show up in the house, and it gets very windy in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, it was a little bit like that.
exactly
Get blown away.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the cinematography in terms of the way, putting the film together is, absolutely. I think it's a brilliant piece of work. But I think, like we always say, there's more to it. There's storytelling and there's, engaging the audience and all of that.
I think, what we always said when it first came out, if you read the script, you'd think, well, okay, this is written by someone who's, just a kind of a hack at mediocre love stories. It's the fact that it's the visuals that he created are really the spectacle. Now, the weird thing is, saying that, I think you can hands down see why it was the biggest film in the world at the time, because the love story, now that we're in our whatever age we are,
dotage.
Yeah, we're a little bit more cynical now.
You can see that the attraction to teenagers, early 20s. DiCaprio was revered. It was like Beatlemania when he came out in.
And he is gorgeous. He is gorgeous.
He was, yes.
But I have to say, on DiCaprio, it took me about, I think, until Blood Diamond to forgive him for Titanic. And I think Blood Diamond, does that come out before The Departed or after The Departed?
Before, I think.
Just before, is it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was when I forgave him, and I thought he was fantastic in that. But until then, I kind of thought he is so associated to this movie that I found it difficult.
It's actually unfair, because the stuff he did before Titanic. I mean, he was
very
shooting,
good. Yeah,
he was shooting
Gilbert Grape.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape? He was shooting Romeo and Juliet just before. I think when they were doing the casting for. But he's very good in Romeo and Juliet. I think he's very good as a Romeo. But Basketball Diaries, he was amazing. This Boy's Life with Robert De Niro, where he played his stepson. He was absolutely amazing in that film.
Haven't seen that.
Titanic, was such a. It was. I do believe he did it because there was a little trepidation, I think, for him to actually take the role. And then when they were doing the casting, I think he'd cast Winslet, who was at that time known as Corset Kate, James Cameron kept saying, because she just did period films. And he said, I thought it would be really lazy casting if I cast Kate Winslet, because that's all she does. And then she read, and he said she was just brilliant. And then
she looked at the costumes and thought, I can do, yeah,
I can do it. I'm very at home. But DiCaprio apparently came in and he said, I want you to read. And DiCaprio was like, what do you mean? I should have the part, basically. I should have it all.
Well, even at that age, he thought.
He'd done a lot, so right. I suppose he. And then Cameron was like, "Well, thank you very much, goodbye." And he said, "Okay, I'll read." And he read with Winslet, and apparently he just like switched on Jack, and the chemistry was great. I think Kate Winslet's actually, considering the role, I think she actually does very well. Because I think what I think is really great about her casting is that she's vulnerable, not kind of Hollywood lead type. Now you can argue, of course, what's this whinging rich girl, as it's said in the film? Yeah. The poor, But, I think we got to remember that this is a time where, women didn't have the vote yet, in America, at least, I think, anyway. It was quite a repressed. Billy Zane is a bit of a shit.
He's terrible, yeah.
But I love him in it. I think he's actually maybe my favorite thing in the film.
He kind of saves the first half of the film, or the first hour and a half.
Yeah. And it's just sort of like, he plays the what I call the ultra reserved American. That we always have the Americans give us the reputation of being the class, all full of class and respect, but Billy Zane represents something that I think is even more kind of upper class restraint than the Brits had. By that time, I think the Brits were becoming a little bit more lax, whereas the Americans had, they were like, everything has to be absolutely pristine, and the formality is very strict. And I think he plays it really well.
Just going back to DiCaprio, actually, I remember I was in America, in New York in '98, staying with a mutual friend of ours, Tim, and there was we went to someone, and he was acting in New York at the time. Roger, this would be your worst nightmare, I'd imagine, hanging out with a bunch of American actors.
Oh, I can imagine.
Except
And
he's English, isn't he?
we were hanging out, and some of the American actors were going, well, if I was DiCaprio, I would have turned the role down. And I remember thinking at the time, no, you wouldn't.
Ridiculous.
You wouldn't.
They were all out of work, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, that
Artistic integrity
there was
and all
in
that.
hand.
Yeah.
But there was great disdain for DiCaprio for having accepted this sort of massive vehicle.
That's just silly, really.
Shit.
That's very silly.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
I would say, just to temper my fury at this film,
Fury.
I think Tim alluded to this. It's very much of its time. Like, one thing that ticked me off pretty early on is the score, which I felt was very
Yeah, it's
intrusive.
really cheesy.
Really cheesy, really manipulative, and really intrusive as well. And that really got on my wig.
And this sort of choir going, ha, 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 ha,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ha. They're really annoying.
But then it's mid-90s. It's a lifetime ago.
And remember, it's basically it is Hollywood. Remember, this is ultra Hollywood. Regardless of what James Cameron says about, the fact is he wrote, directed, edited the film himself.
Made the tea.
Made the costumes, sewed all the linings of the skirt. But the thing is that I think we do need to bring James Cameron into this a bit, because he is not only because he directed it, but also because he is, I think, a remarkable person. He is a scientist, is an environmentalist, and he, of course, I don't know how well Roger knows this, so you probably know this, Ollie, because being the film buff that you are, Cameron is a deep sea diver, and I believe still holds the record for deepest person to have dived in the Mariana.
What, with a canister on his back?
No,
not free diving.
In a submersible. Sorry.
Oh, in a submersible.
Yeah.
Right.
That's insane. Not Bob Ballard or someone like that.
No,
Or Jules. What's Jacques Cousteau?
Over 20 dives, something crazy. When they were doing the film and the research for the film, he went numerous times down to Titanic. Yeah. So a lot of the shots of the wreck are kind of mixture of real life and models.
So is Bill Paxton playing James Cameron?
Essentially, he actually said, "Yeah, Bill is me in this."
Right. And we should mention Bill because he's no longer with
Hollywood
us.
version of it. In fact, he irked me a little bit. Some of his dialogues, a little bit like, "Really, a scientist would say that?"
Yeah,
I don't think so. Yeah. But this is what I mean about James Cameron's writing. It's not subtle.
No, it absolutely wasn't subtle, and I think that's what. Again, like the score kind of ticked me off. Exactly that. Yeah.
He actually admitted in a lecture that I watched a couple of years ago, Cameron, that he sort of wanted to make the film purely so he could dive down to the wreck. And he said, I'll just make this film on the I'll just make this film on the side. And
did well for a vanity project, didn't it?
Pretty good. He's he's very. He's helped with design cameras for some of the rovers on Mars. He's kind of really
crazy
as a I'll say a scientist, but he. So I think that this in its exploration of the actual events that happen. Yeah. The historical events that happened. To the point where some of the the people on board are real. Like Marley Brown and Guggenheim and Archibald, what's his name? But, you know, let's face it, The Sinking is, in my opinion, it's the spectacle. It's the real, it's the fact that you know this is going to happen. There's an anticipation, of course, that you know it's going to hit an iceberg. And and actually after a while, you're like, I want to get to this bit now, please.
Roger, I'm surprised you didn't fast forward.
Well, I made a note. It hits the iceberg at 1 hour 40, which to me, I felt was a little bit late in proceedings. I'll be honest.
Yeah, maybe at 40 minutes it could have.
Yeah.
I mean, whilst you mentioned that, have you seen? I know Tim has. Have you seen A Night to Remember, Roger?
No, that's also
Kenneth More film. Now that's really, really good. I mean, I feel bad for doing Titanic because it makes it sound like I prefer Titanic to A Night to Remember, and actually, A Night to Remember is so good.
Yeah, I think you could have brought in. I mean, I know. Listen, why would anyone involved with Titanic listen to the, scum like us? Let's be honest, because I know you guys know a hell of a lot and all that, but the tale of the tape is that this made an absolute shed load of money for everybody involved, launch careers, all the rest of it, brilliant stuff. I just think the story of The Sinking is fundamentally very dramatic anyway. He does that really, really well in the film. I think if you wanted to give that, tell the story and give it that human angle, there's all the class stuff, which looms very large in the story anyway, in the true story, and they kind of, that's obviously the origin of the love story in the middle of this, right? That's fundamentally a class tale. But I think you could have done it in a more convincing, more subtle way, and you could.
It's very lazy.
It's very lazy and very Hollywood, and so that hence, my kind of annoyance with the whole experience, because I just feel like there's a lot there that was really, really brilliant. The story is inherently dramatic, and yet you've got, something about Kate Winslet as well. I think she always annoys me.
But there's some of the dialogue she has to deliver is, or is it DiCaprio? I mean, look at, is that a Monet? I mean, look at his use of color. Isn't it amazing? It's just,
there are references like that. Oh, Picasso, he'll never amount to nothing. I tell you. It's like, why are you putting that? You're just, let's reference the contemporaries of the time.
It's like living in his dream.
Yeah, or what's that when he goes like Freud? You would be.
I wanted to mention this. This is with Bruce.
Would interest you, and he's like,
exactly.
Freud, is he a passenger?
So this is Bruce Ismay. Now this is Bruce Ismay, who I think comes out of this film brilliantly. I think he's absolutely wonderful, man, and I'm really outraged. But that was a particular moment mentioning Freud and the obsession with size, blah blah blah. I thought that showed the British and American clash, where the Brits we view therapy and psychologists with suspicion, quite rightly too, and the Americans showed their obsession with it. So I loved the fact that Ismay hadn't heard of Freud. I thought that he went up in my estimation.
Is he a passenger? That's lovely.
Passenger.
And the other thing is that Ismay gets blamed, and he's obviously, they're trying to blame him in this, but he says to Captain Smith, he doesn't force him to. He says, "I'm just a passenger," but you might want to think of speeding up.
Yes, but it's the use of, it's the way, it's the manner.
But later, Captain Smith shows off to the passengers, saying, "Yeah, well, I've fired up the final engines, and we're cracking through we're speeding through the ocean." So obviously, in this version of the story, Captain Smith was only too keen to speed up. And what great businessman like Ismay would not do that.
He'd want to be in New
York. But he did
early.
apparently sneakily get into one of the boats, and apparently
not sneakily. They were all the women had been taken, and they said to him, "Look, it's going, and you either get in or you don't. If you don't, you die."
All the first class women, surely.
Yeah, I'm not sure all the women had been taken.
Most of the women. And they so basically the lifeboat was going. He was the only one around left, and they said, "Look, it's up to you, but it's suicide if you don't go." What man in their right mind would not get in? I mean,
apparently,
I think it's to his credit he got in.
Apparently, he did turn away, and couldn't look at the sinking.
Well, I
shall
don't blame
say.
him for that. Who'd want to watch hundreds of people die?
No,
It's
but it was
very morbid.
It was quite a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, not the dying. I mean the
Yeah, but for someone like,
slapping.
that was his company. It had been his father's company. Very great man, Bruce
Well,
Ismay.
that's a first in my experience. The praise that you're
Well, I just
showering
think that
on
if you
Ismay.
pick through his interactions, he came out of it very well. I think it was right that he wanted the ship to arrive early to get the good headlines. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
capitalist.
And we can get to the sinking,
Yeah.
but it's pretty clear who's to blame here.
In this film,
and it isn't Bruce
100
Ismay.
No, in this film, 100%. It's Rose and Jack.
Yes.
for distracting the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're snogging. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely true. It was their fault completely. Yeah. Which is an interesting footnote to the history, to be fair. I think we should that needs to be incorporated in the next book about the Titanic.
I mean, there are many ridiculous things in this, like the Jack's Italian friend with this sort of comedy accent.
No, absolutely rubbish. Oh, by the way, who was in? He's been in a film that we did on the previous pod.
Was he in Master and Commander?
No, he was in Crimson Tide. He's the guy, on the radio trying to fix the.
No, you're mixing. No, it's not.
Not
him.
the radio. Not the radio. The Silver Surfer guy.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of the actor who was in the De Niro film, his first directorial film.
No.
And was in Sopranos.
No, his name is Danny Nucci.
Right.
And he plays Fabrizio, and he plays the guy in Crimson Tide.
Does he?
Argue with me.
There you go. He's done his homework, Ollie. You can't. There's no gain saying that.
There is another Italian American in Crimson Tide,
right?
Who is in the film with De Niro?
A Bronx Tale.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
What's his name?
I don't know. We'll look it up.
Okay. Fine.
We can edit this out. It's fine.
But anyway, Fabrizio is. I can't tell you how much he annoys me. Because he's
yes,
just
he is in Crimson Tide.
He's just a bit. He's just a bit rubbish. He's. I hate it when someone writes a non-English speaking character who is speaking English with an accent and
Johnny
then throws in. Yeah, and throws in his native language words every now and then. Oh, you're so pazzo. It's like, you wouldn't say that, okay? You would say, you are ridiculous. Crazy. I'm going to America. It's all a very, we're the luckiest sons of bitches in the world. And it's really forcing the tragedy down our throat.
But this to me sums up the sort of schlockfest that it is.
Absolutely.
Completely.
100%. I completely agree with you.
The one thing you could perhaps clear up for me, because I was looking into it and I couldn't establish it, because I believe one of three of the four funnels work, but four was there just for show on the boat, on the ship. And
interesting.
At various times, all four are in operation. And I was surprised that Cameron made a mistake like that, and maybe they just thought, show the sheer magnificence of the boat.
Given the attention to detail on display, I'd be tempted to say that Mr. Oliver Webb-Carter has made a mistake there rather than Mr. James Cameron. To be very honest, Ollie. But
I have to say, I did get this from the Rest is History Titanic extravaganza.
Did you?
Episodes where they?
Well, they're usually pretty good as well. So
they said that one of the funnels was just for show. And I couldn't see, because they all four seem to be working at various stages in the film. But anyway,
interesting.
I think it's
that's
a lot of it
one for our audience to respond to. That one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any type of
engagement farming.
Yes. So, shall we talk a bit about some of the cast members?
Yes.
I think we've done Leo and Kate.
Just on Kate, did I say I mean, I did say I know she annoys me. I did find her incredibly wooden in this.
Yes.
Is Tim going to disagree? I think Tim was singing her praises earlier.
I
But
don't
I
think
just
she
found her
was.
very wooden.
I don't think she was. I don't think she was wooden. I thought she.
Well, she was playing someone who was uptight, I suppose.
I think she had. Yeah, I thought she did that quite. I thought that exactly that the character was quite uptight,
Yeah,
extremely repressed.
yeah,
As claustrophobic as she would have been in mind as she was in a corset.
yes, yes.
Um, uh, and
I mean, also, yeah. I mean,
I thought her rigidity was actually really believable.
but you didn't. She's deeply unsympathetic as well, which is
Yes, but
not
I
a
think
great
they
look.
were. I think they.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that
yeah,
like her mother, for example, is for me that's what a typical
yeah,
um well-to-do mother, particularly on the verge of ruin,
yeah,
potential ruin, with a lifeline like Billy Zane's character would be like exactly the
yeah,
same. I really, and I think that Rose would have essentially, had she not um been subjected to someone like Jack or that kind of world, she probably would have just become like that
yeah.
eventually anyway. Um, and I
But
thought that the fact that she's English, Kate Winslet's
yeah,
English, I think it actually lent quite a good aspect of the character, because the Brits can play early Americans quite well because of the accent. Was slightly different. It
yeah.
was a little bit more, I want to say, well spoken. No offense to Americans. The English type of well spoken. I mean,
Yeah.
and I thought, and I thought that they were actually quite a good contrast, because Jack's
Okay.
very, he's completely carefree. I think Jack is a little bit maybe too modern,
Yeah.
in the context of the fact that this is 1912. It's a little bit like DiCaprio has been dropped into the film,
Yeah.
and I'm
It's like
I'm an
his
American from Los Angeles,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
except he's from Wisconsin apparently. But the yeah, I thought she was actually quite good, and actually in the sinking, I think she's really believable when
Right.
she's running with the act, when she's desperate to find him or have someone find someone. She's the I always thought that when she ducks into the water and she kind of because it's so cold. Well, actually, that's because it genuinely was. Apparently, it was freezing. So there was no acting required. But I thought she was, I thought she was actually quite good.
Okay.
Actually,
Fair enough.
I thought she did she made a lot of very good film choices after Titanic.
She doesn't annoy me as an actress. I actually think she's quite a good actress.
No, I'm sure she is a good actress. I mean, I'm not dissing. I don't have the position or knowledge to diss her entire oeuvre, but I did
They were
find
very
it
convincing,
irritating.
both of them, in the film they did together, Sam Mendes film, Revolutionary Road,
Yeah.
where they're an unhappily married couple. And, it became a thing where, what if Jack had survived?
That's what they would have
This is
become.
what
Is that the sequel? Revolutionary Road's the
yeah,
sequel.
yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
They're really, it's not a pleasant film because
No,
of
I think I got halfway through that and turned it off, to be honest.
it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
watch it with
great.
your wife.
I hadn't thought of that. That is fantastic. Revolutionary Road is the sequel. Brilliant.
So, okay.
Had
So
had
DiCaprio, I thought
he?
very good.
Yeah.
Winslet, yes. Okay. Tim, yes. Me, no.
Well,
Billy
I think
Zane.
the some of the sort of fictional characters are amusing, but no more than that. Like the Kathy Bates character.
She's
Although
no,
no,
but
she's
she's
a
real.
No, she's
genuine.
not fiction.
She's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's genuine, isn't she?
That's Unsinkable Molly or whatever her name was.
Unsinkable Molly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And you get. I quite like the Irish guy, Tom, whatever his name, Tom. I thought he was actually really played it nice and straight. He wasn't overacting.
Yeah.
Great looking guy. I thought he was. He could have been used a bit more, but the
Jason Barry,
yes,
Tommy Ryan, the
Tommy
Irish
Ryan.
third class.
Thought he was good. Fabrizio, the character, I just thought was weak.
I think it ignored. I think Jason Barry had a line that slightly ignored sectarian trouble that was brewing very seriously
Yes.
at the time,
Yeah.
and he seemed to have an accent from further south in
Yeah.
Ireland and was standing up for his Protestant northern
Yes.
countrymen, which I was surprised by.
Yeah. He was very proud that they built the Titanic.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, but hang on a second.
Yeah, exactly.
You're from down
You're about to
south.
go to war with them.
Yeah, perhaps that was a particular avenue of nuance that they didn't want to go down.
No, I think James Cameron went over his head. Yeah. So I think Bill Paxton. So you're not keen on Bill Paxton then?
I love Bill Paxton, but I think they had lifted him with a mechanical arm out of an 80s action
Aliens.
film and stuck him in. Yeah.
Yes.
But also, they find the safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a treasure hunter. I get that. But he's just shoving his hand into the safe and tearing these sort of documents. Who knows what they are? It could be quite interesting. It could be quite valuable. And he's just sort of scrunching them together and hurling them aside.
But this is an example of, I think his character is an example of what Roger was saying about the problem with the script. It's proper exposition. Yeah. Every time she comes out of the dark, she gets me every time, or whatever he says. And then he's like, remember, this is a sign. These guys are proper scientists. And he's filming himself. And then, at one point, I think he goes, enough of that bullshit. And it's like, you're documenting.
But are they proper
Titanic.
scientists?
Is
Titanic scientifically important?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it depends what you think.
I'd say if you're just doing that at that depth, you'd need to be reasonably scientifically.
I'm not saying they're not proficient.
Otherwise, yeah.
But I don't think they're expanding the knowledge of humanity by going down to Titanic. They're just having a wander around a very famous ship that sank.
Yeah, but deep sea diving, I think, is like they say
it's like being on the moon.
It's like being on the moon, or even more complicated. And
I would say
ways.
that surely it's more interesting, titillating to go to Titanic than it would be, to go down to the deepest trench in the ocean, which would be more interesting scientifically, presumably.
It's still very deep.
How far down is it? 4 miles? Is it? 4 miles?
I think just a bit.
3 and a bit kilometers, I think it was.
Yeah.
All right, so about 2 miles.
And
it's quite a long way down, isn't it?
Yeah. It is quite a long way down.
And of course, it's I don't know whether physicists how much they can learn from what actually happened when it sank.
Degradation of paint artwork under
Monet's the fate of Monet's.
The Monet's are ignored. I realise. I mean, surely they'd be very valuable.
Exactly, and Picasso's that were down there.
And if
they salvaged the sketch. Why don't they
if Jack's charcoal survived,
exactly.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So true.
And remember Monet's use of color, that would have remained, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But but he's Bill Paxton's just a bit, and I don't know, it's expositional, and it's very I think when they cut back to them about an hour and something in,
like they're all watching a movie or something.
Yeah, and then and they're just about and they go, and I think Bill Paxton says, so he didn't have enough time to turn. So he knew all the 26 years working against him, that he's explaining everything that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Before we see it.
Yeah.
As if James Cameron's going, just in case you're lost.
Yeah.
For audience members, I'll just quickly give you a little lowdown.
This is your interval. This is the bit where
in case you've fallen asleep over your popcorn, then
Yeah. Okay. All right. So some of the other cast members, we mentioned how much we like Billy Zane. David Warner, I mean, amusing bad guy.
Yes.
Victor Garber, very good as Thomas Andrews, the shipbuilder. Very believable.
Yes.
And apparently he was super obsessed, and it's the same in A Night to Remember.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much spent the whole voyage tweaking, trying to find bits that he can make better.
Right.
On whatever he thought was wrong with the ship.
Yeah.
To the point where I think he was last seen where he is in the film, at the mantelpiece in the dining room, where he's
straightening the ashtrays.
He checks the clock.
Right.
He corrects the clock.
That's brilliant.
It's like, I'm sure he could have done something more useful there, Tim. Like make people got in the lifeboats. And
maybe.
It's not his job. He knows that he knows that half the people are going to die.
Yeah, he did. I thought I always liked Victor Garber.
Yeah, it's great.
Very good in Sicario.
Canadian.
Yeah, very good in Argo, isn't he?
Yes, really good in Argo, and
topical,
very good in Sleepless in Seattle as well. Very nice.
I forgot he was in that. Okay, Bernard Hill playing the
wonderful Bernard Hill,
wonderful
Captain
Bernard
Smith.
Hill. Yeah.
Well, he just sort of wanders around going.
He doesn't do much, to be fair.
Which is historically accurate, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently,
apart from sink the bloody ship.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve. Or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
I used to just go with whatever meat looked good or was on sale at the grocery store. But now that I've experienced the exceptional quality, flavor, and convenience that you can get from Omaha Steaks, I'm never going back. They can build a custom food plan based on your schedule, which means less food waste and stocking up on high-quality proteins to always have on hand. With Omaha Steaks in your freezer, you're always just minutes away from a quality dinner. Whether it's Taco Tuesday or a weekend feast. Taste the Omaha Steaks difference and never settle for grocery proteins again. Get flavorful, high-quality proteins delivered by visiting omahasteaks.com. Plus $35 off when you use promo code YUM at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code YUM at checkout for $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
I think it was basically a sort of suicide mission. I think he was bored and decided to end his own.
Yeah.
Not only
But actually, is it the
role in the film?
first
early.
officer's fault, or is it Captain Smith's fault?
I thought we'd ascertained it's Jack's fault for.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's imagine for a moment that Jack was not there.
I think. I mean, the fact is that they said the waters were so calm that they wouldn't see. They knew that
it was
wouldn't
difficult to
see
see.
any of the breaking of the feet of the
Any of the
bottom
wash
of
or
the
anything.
icebergs
Yeah.
of the water. So I don't know if there's a fault.
Because the problem is, I think the first captain, is it Murdoch?
Yeah.
First officer rather, Murdoch. What he should have done was not turn the Titanic.
Apparently,
He should have just
yeah.
gone straight at it. But I guess it's a
Oh,
natural
right.
reaction to try and
But
miss it.
is it that coupled with the fact that they tried to well, they don't know if they got the engines into reverse, but whether coupled with not turning and also trying to slow down, basically.
That made it even more.
Yeah, because the rudder
maybe you'd have just glanced it.
Perhaps. Exactly, perhaps. But the fact is it didn't turn.
Surely the problem was that it glanced it, because it sort of punctured lots of the cells, and that's what did for it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think so. Yes, yeah. I don't know. I hadn't.
Yeah, it may have just hit it.
The other thing to consider as well is, I know people do say, "Oh, well, if you just gone head on and hit the iceberg," wouldn't there have been a kind of orthodoxy that captains follow, and manual? If you got an iceberg, just go straight at it. Not leave it up to, well, it's up to you. You can either try and miss it or you can hit it. It's up to, it's 50-50. I mean, there must have been a form.
That's a good point.
And the White Star Line, yes.
Either he followed the rules.
This is the protocol.
Exactly, the guide, or he ignored it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting watching A Night to Remember. Is the one thing that Cameron doesn't do with this is that I suppose it's to accentuate the sense of isolation in the North Atlantic. One thing, it would have been very more interesting. I think if they could have added the "where are we," or given us some sort of perspective of how isolated they were. But I think in A Night to Remember, it cuts between the Titanic and the other ships that are quite a long way away, obviously, like the Carpathian, I think. But they see the Titanic. They see it lit way out on the horizon, like 10 miles away or something, even more maybe. And that stopped. That ship has stopped because it's seen ice up ahead. So they did probably followed some sort of protocol, like don't keep going when there's ice around. And the thing is that they did have ice warning, I believe, anyway, on the Titanic.
So the Titanic story is one basically of hubris, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably, maybe certain things hadn't been followed to the letter. I don't know. I'm Titanic experts write in and let us know.
But I think that's the standard narrative on it, is that it's basically hubris, isn't it? That this is, both the empire at its height and all of that, and Britain at its apogee, and then this is an expression of that hubris. We'll never be sunk. We'll keep going.
You're in danger of falling for the Freudian theory there.
Well, the Titanic is an enormous penis extension of the empire. Well, it works. Go with what works, Ollie.
And then it snaps.
All right.
What?
Steady.
What? I mean, the Empire. What's the thing is they did keep repeating. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it's unsinkable. It's unsinkable. Like, this ship can't sink," which they said in A Night to Remember as well. So it's obviously something that was bandied about.
Well, there's an interesting article on the BBC that says that actually at the time no one did say that it was unsinkable.
So
it's back projection.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Which I can't remember if the rest is history guys mentioned, but it's quite an interesting article. So I might there are five Titanic myths spread by movies. So I'll put that in the show notes. I mean, some of it's quite well known, blah blah blah, but unsurprisingly, this article seeks to defend J. Bruce Ismay, who is a splendid man and should not his reputation should not be traduced in this way. He went to a very good school, Tim.
Berkhamsted.
Anyway, I forgive him for everything.
Exactly. Right.
I also Molly
the old
Brown.
boys network comes down 100 years on plus.
Old Molly Brown
won't hear of any criticism of him at all. Yeah. Molly Brown. Go on, Molly Brown.
She was a bit of a heroine because she attempted to get the lifeboats back to pick people up, but it was unsuccessful because she was overruled.
I don't think that makes her a heroine. Makes her an attempted heroine, but
okay.
Wow.
Pardon?
Well, no,
Very high
I think it's
bar for
great that she
heroin
tried, but
status.
she didn't succeed, did she?
No, she did not succeed. You're
So she may as well
absolutely
have not bothered.
right.
Wow.
Right. Freud. Yeah,
I think we're trying to find heroes where there were very few, really, apart from the I guess the people who worked on the Titanic to get as many as the people as they could off. I thought that First Officer Murdoch was played very well, the one who shoots himself. Now, that's not actually true, is it? He didn't kill himself.
No, well, no.
Did he?
No, he didn't. I think the argument is, it's perfectly plausible. Apparently, shots were fired.
Right.
Whether it was for, sort of up in the air, kind of attention grabbing, keep back, or whatever. But apparently so, and I think Cameron's justification was. I think
there were suicides.
I think Murdoch's family, according to Cameron, had a little issue.
Yes, they did.
With him at least suggesting that he accepted a bribe from a fictional character.
Yeah.
Which I can understand would be very offensive. At least make the character real. No, but but also the fact is, of course, he refuses it in the end.
Yes.
But also the fact that he shoots someone and then he kills himself. I think, I can understand that. Like, excuse me, why can't you make him fictional if you're going to do that
that's true.
But
it's
Hollywood.
It's rumors. Basically, Lightoller says there was a suicide. Lightoller is the other first officer who is played by.
Who Kenneth Moore plays in.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, who interestingly, I learned this from the Rest is History, and I should not stop doing this because far more people listen to that than listen to this. Yeah, but Lightoller is then is at Dunkirk on one of the little boats.
Oh wow.
Yeah, played by Mark Rylance in the film Dunkirk. So, but Lightoller is very good in this. He's played by Jonathan Phillips.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
who I think is sort of very kind of, I think he's really good as a sort of, stiff upper lip officer who, he at the moment, one moment he threatens to shoot people and then checks his gun. He hasn't got any bullets in it, stuff like that. All very good.
Yeah.
I think, these kind of actors who you don't see in big Hollywood movies very often, but when they are there, they're just really, really good. Ewan Stewart, very good as Murdoch as well.
Yeah. It's just that they would need good, solid performances for
Ioan Gruffudd
supporting roles. Ioan Gruffudd. He went on to have a pretty good career.
Very good, and he played a Welshman as well, so I like that his accuracy there. Yeah. I think he's in these superhero films now.
Oh,
yes,
another one.
I know. Very depressing.
Yeah.
And
all right, should we do our awards?
Yes, let's do that.
Unless there's any other actors that you want to mention.
No,
Gloria Stewart as old Rose. I mean, she was a heavyweight.
I got real problems with. I don't know if we'll bring this up, but I think the idea that you've kept this jewel the whole time.
Yes.
And then you just throw it in the sea.
Yeah, pisses me off.
That is. I don't think she would. I think that's ridiculous.
I mean, by that time in the film, I was past caring, to be honest. So.
Okay.
I mean, well, it's a really interesting point because you've got to ask yourself, how much do I give a shit about this diamond?
Yes.
After all that's happened.
Yes, exactly.
And the shit, I mean, you've seen this amazing sinking in technically, recreated. I couldn't care less. I really don't.
But I think that the fact that she threw it away is shows Rose as really a very kind of vacuous human being, because the reason why she's there at the age of 100 or whatever she is, and they're all there for this jewel. Okay, it's a massive undertaking. They've flown her out with all her baggage, by the way. Did you see she had more baggage than she had on the Titanic?
Yeah. To get that, to get
must have my pictures.
Yeah, exactly. And she knows she's got everyone right around her little finger.
And she throws it over.
And then she throws it overboard. I think that's
exactly.
really despicable
Bitch.
behavior.
Yeah.
Despicable.
Despicable.
So
Agree.
And she got an Oscar, I think.
At least put it on eBay.
She got an Oscar nomination for it.
Oh, she didn't win it.
No. But
good.
I mean, yeah, it's the Hollywood. You know, it's ultra Hollywoodized, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say The English Patient, but The English Patient's actually a great film, I think.
Yes.
We should do that.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good point. We should, because it's brilliant. You know, that's Forbidden Love done at its best.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, this is, you know, like these little poor little guys.
No, it's ridiculous.
I think another thing that should be called out is the hand in the steamed up car underneath.
Oh, brilliant! Brilliant. Sorry,
awful.
What you mean is hand in sauna.
Yes.
If you look at them, you are in a sauna. You are sweating so much.
Do you think they turn the engine on him to fire the heating up or something?
Yeah, apparently there was a car on that.
Oh, well, I'm sure there was a car.
Just
no one wanted to drive it afterwards.
And I thought of you actually when DiCaprio gets in and pretends to drive and says in his best English accent, "What a miss."
It's awful. Yeah, I mean, God, Cameron's dialogue is just awful. Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's right up there with George Lucas.
Yes, exactly. So, shall we do our best performance then? We'll do our categories. Best performance.
Billy Zane.
I mean, I would say Billy Zane.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I found him as irritating as he was to me. I had jotted down here comic book villain.
Yeah, he is. He 100%.
But he never.
I mean, there are.
But
We're
that's
not
the thing.
overflowing.
If that's what's scripted, then okay. But then it still came across as a comic.
He's very camp in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So it's just annoying. I mean, I thought DiCaprio was. I mean, head and
yeah. I mean, in terms of actual, you know, heartfelt performance, genuine acting, you know, I think probably DiCaprio would.
Or Victor Garber.
As a support, maybe.
Yeah,
well, okay, all right, fine. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't really care.
I'm beyond caring.
Because you don't watch this film for the acting. I mean, I could say the ship.
Yeah.
Well, the ship is. I would say the ship is. What's the character?
Best performance.
No.
Well, actually, I think the ship could win almost everything.
I think it owns the. What's your category? It owns the film, or
who won the film?
Who won the film?
Yeah. Well, that's the last one. Okay, so best performance. So you're going with DiCaprio.
Yeah.
I would like to submit a formal complaint that I wanted to be noted that I did not go along with this
on record.
Okay, most egregious overacting. Ooh.
Oh, all of it.
Well,
Kate
Billy
Winslet.
Zane.
Billy Zane.
Billy
Sure,
Zane,
because he's definitely
Billy Zane then.
Yeah,
he's great.
What about the ship?
Egregious overacting by the ship.
It does completely overshadow everyone else. I mean, quite literally at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds. I always thought, you know, when it lifts, its stern lifts up, and you see the propellers. It's kind of like this is like watching Alien.
Yes, vast. Yeah.
You know.
That's very true.
All right. Well, we'll go with Billy Zane. Largest plot flaw.
Well,
There's so much.
I mean, it's okay.
Can
we go from
the suicide off the rear of the boat?
The very beginning. Can we go from the very beginning?
Okay.
How long have we got?
Is the card game actually he loses the hand?
Jack winning the card game 5 minutes before Titanic is about to set sail, and they wouldn't be able to get on it. That wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got on the ship close to it leaving. And in fact, the bridge has actually come off. I think.
Yeah, and they jump, don't they?
Yeah. Not
and the guy and the guy's going, come on.
Yeah. Did you go
I think
through
you would be
Fletcher?
going,
Yeah, we think we're
no, you've
Americans.
missed it.
We're Americans. Of course we went through.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Could I'm just trying to think what else could be the
Jack being
largest.
invited to first class dinner.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, just the cynic in me would say that Rose would be remotely interested in Jack at all. I mean,
Yes.
And
that,
the fact,
you know.
and what's more convenient, that or Molly Brown
Just tend to
saying,
get
"I
lost."
knew,
Exactly. Get lost, urchin.
yeah." Molly Brown saying, "I knew you were the same size as my son." It's just one coincidence after another.
But this is the schlockiness of it.
It's just dear, oh dear.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah.
Okay, historical inaccuracies. Well, I've mentioned the funnel.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, to its credit, the ship is very. It does seem
it is.
They seem to have got a lot of it right. I mean, there was a gymnasium which I thought was
Apparently
quite
it's true. Yeah,
with a rowing machine.
they had rowing machines. They had the horse saddle and a camel saddle. Apparently that you don't see.
A camel.
That's brilliant.
Well, why don't we bring that back to gyms and go down to fitness first?
It's basically with a hump.
Yeah.
Warming up for your session on a camel.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, okay. Glaringly, the Picasso was not on on the Titanic, so that's made up.
Yeah. Oh, you mean some of this was made up?
You would not believe it. I mean, the jewel itself, I suppose.
Definitely one. I mean, it makes good cinema, I suppose. But DiCaprio handcuffed and Kate taking a couple of practice swings with an axe.
Yes.
Fucking it up royally. And then
not
it's like, okay.
But then not chopping his hand off. I mean, that was, Yeah.
I don't know if that's more plot flaw, isn't it?
Plot flaw, sorry, not historical.
But you're right. That scene is ridiculous where she frees him from the thing. And I mean, they would have died of hypothermia by then. I mean, he's in the water. She
was more, I think, wasn't she? Because she was kind of going around with an axe, and she was up to kind of here.
Yeah,
she would have been in trouble.
Okay, just going back to historical inaccuracy, I think isn't the cage all made up as well? The fact that they locked all the poor people in.
No, apparently that's true.
Well, no, I read that. Okay, so there seems to be
that they locked them in, but apparently that they had,
but not intentionally.
No.
It was like a standard thing, and they weren't. Oh, let's lock them so they can't get out. They didn't do that.
Steerage have to be locked up in
like wild animals
in case there's a sinking.
The third class would be basically the equivalent of first class today. I think we're treated so poorly in all our public transport nowadays, or mass transport.
Yeah.
But I think actually it is historically inaccurate because the film suggests it's done intentionally to kill, not to kill, but to let them die.
Them.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a moving part with a mother and her two children, where she's
played by the great Vasquez in Aliens.
Oh yes, of course.
And John Connor's mother in Terminator 2.
Oh, well done. Yeah, well, I mean, James Cameron had done quite a few great movies by then, Aliens and Terminator.
I just to very quickly kind of put a little umbrella on this. I think his skills really kick in the sinking, because that's his action muscles.
Yeah, he shouldn't be left anywhere near a pen. Then is what you're saying.
No, and I mean, you could very quick. Okay, so he wrote Terminator. Now the concept is brilliant.
There's no dialogue in it.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The concept is amazing.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, Aliens.
And the dialogue anyway lends itself well to the future.
Yeah, of course. That's a really good point. And the fact is that Aliens wasn't actually his world. If he didn't invent it himself.
Yeah.
And then, after this was Avatar. again, on paper, not brilliant. It's visually stunning, but The Abyss, I would say, is probably.
I mean,
No,
Avatar's so ludicrous, as is
No,
the subsequent two, that I'm not just no interest in them.
saw the first one, no interest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Silly films.
Very silly.
Okay, what if Tarantino had made Titanic? He would have improved it, I think.
Well, it would have been again probably someone on a mission on the.
I mean, the dialogue would have been the
dialogue
plot would have been
the dialogue would have
better.
been snappier. Would be a lot snappier. A lot less cheese and schlock. And
I'm not sure the sinking would have been visually as excellently done.
No, maybe not.
Because I think, I think it's harsh to say, but Tarantino's a bit more dialogue led than unless he's doing some sort of kung fu action.
Maybe they could have done it as a sort of two-hander between him and Cameron. Then you'd have good dialogue and characterization, and
yes,
decent representation.
All right,
and he probably would have put some African Americans. Maybe whether that was historically
or like a race issue in it.
Well, probably, but the thing, or not necessarily. There was a race issue because there were a lot of passengers on board from all over. But
there was a black man on the boat with his wife and two. I think they were in second class with his wife and two children, and they survived. His wife was pregnant, and they survived, but he went down with the ship.
I think that Cameron tried to get a little bit. You do see a little bit of that, but it doesn't quite. He doesn't really delve into it that much. But when they're in that
when they first come on board, you see lots of different nationalities. Yeah, that's quite well done.
And you sort of see it when they're doing the dance after. You want to go to a real party? Then they're downstairs, and then oh my god, it's just that scene actually. Even
when she does the ballet, that's so cringeworthy.
It's like, why are you doing this?
She interrupts two guys who are.
You can ask her that throughout the whole film. To be fair.
Two guys who are just having fun, and it's like, you think you're real men? It's like, didn't say that. I'm just having a little. This is a party. What's wrong with you?
Well, that's her calling from 1997, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're at who won the film. So yeah, I think you mentioned this before.
I think Titanic.
The Titanic, yeah. Or James Cameron. I mean, this is his peak of his powers, isn't it?
Yeah, he. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's a pretty great bit of business talk to go into a studio and say, because apparently he just showed them an image of one of the paintings of the sinking, where it's kind of it hasn't snapped yet, but it's at an angle, and he basically said Romeo and Juliet on that, and to have a $200 million budget given to you, a life-size recreations of the ship,
that's crazy.
Actually, and then to sink it, they shot off the coast of Mexico.
Yeah.
You got to you think, and not only that, it was the highest grossing film of all time, and then the film he made right after that was the highest grossing film of all time. So he's not an idiot, if you
no.
And also, it's interesting. He built two Titanics for $200 million and paid all the actors. I mean, I think the Ministry of Defense should call him up and.
This is why he's involved in quite important stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's between Cameron and the Titanic.
Yeah. Well,
also, bit of trivia.
I think the Titanic sinks, and that's not a positive for winning this prize.
Well,
disqualified. DNF. Disqualified.
Once again, spoiler alert. I think Cameron. I think you have to say won this because yes, the Titanic's currently 2.5 miles down, sitting on the floor of the.
But it's still there.
Yeah, but Cameron's making Avatar after Avatar.
Yeah. It's actually a bit of
maybe it's actually better to be on the ocean floor than making Avatar over and over.
There's a bit of interesting trivia that the Titanic set sail from Southampton with its
Whee.
port side facing land, but they built the ship with its starboard side facing land. But this was all, they knew that they were going to do this. So actually, when you see the opening scenes, when they arrive at the Titanic, she gets out of the car and they're all looking, the picture is flipped.
I see.
And so all the writing was actually written backwards.
Oh, really? Oh, very good.
So,
goodness me. Wow.
Good planning.
Good
And
knowledge,
well
Tim.
spotted, Tim.
Good
I like
knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, well, so I think Cameron.
Okay.
Cameron?
Fair enough. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay, well, this has been splendid. What's
This is jolly.
going to be our next film to discuss?
A Night to Remember.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit Titanicked out, actually.
Yeah.
I think we're a bit nautical.
Yeah, we've done two nautical
nautically.
films
We
so
have
far.
actually. It's true.
Should we return to land?
Yes. Let's.
Roger, are there any that you would like to select? I think we have to think of a film that's quite well known, actually.
Yeah, I think you don't like the sort of, obscure art.
Not some kind of
40s
1930s Polish film made by some auteur.
By
I mean, if you wanted to go, you could go through Vida's, back catalogue.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned The English Patient. It's not a bad shout.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
World War II.
It's your favourite period.
My happy
Are you good
place.
on the Desert War?
Not especially.
Well, there's plenty
But,
of time.
it'll be fine.
Great. Okay.
I'll bluff it.
Okay, we'll do The English Patient then.
That sounds fun.
I blub on that every
Great
single time I
film.
watch it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Emotion. We love a bit of emotion.
Well, we know that we all three of us really like the film.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
so
And I haven't
whether
seen it for a
it'll
long time,
be
so it'd be nice to see it
interesting or
again.
not.
Okay, great. All right, well, we'll do that then. Splendid. All right, well,
Marvellous.
thank you very much, Roger. Very kind for you to watch 3.25 hours of Titanic.
Schlock.
At least you've seen it.
I have now seen it. I can
It's
tick that
important.
particular box. Yes,
I would say it's an
can die
important
happy.
film in history. It's important in the
It is
cinematic
important.
catalogue.
That's very true. You're right. Yeah.
Well, Tim, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great stuff.
Been fun.
And thanks to the listeners. Until next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
We've come to the end of this club meeting, so thank you for listening. If you want to get in touch about club benefits, please do, either by email or on X or Instagram. Links are in the show notes. I've also included my Substack link so members can read articles I've written on various matters that may be of interest. The History Book Club is written and presented by me, Oliver Webb-Carter. Music is by listener Chat DMZ. Episodes continue next week and every week, so please do join, subscribe, and if you can provide the club with a 5-star rating, we would be delighted. In the meantime, I thank you again, and now I have to usher members out into the real world. Until next time.
I was